top 3 waiver wire priorities. Ken Walker's above the threshold of 65%. Jamie, he's at 68%. He's obviously number 1 if he's available, right?
I mean, you could potentially spend the rest of your fab on him if you are stuck and need a running back, or your season is lost and you're trying just to salvage it in any way you can. So yes, he should be the number 1 player added. And then it's just kind of, I think, what you need. If you need a quarterback, Smith could easily be the second player. If you need another running back, Benjamin's in a good spot, given the matchup that he has this week and the situation with the Cardinals backfield. Taysom Hill or Hayden Hurst if you need a tight end, Jacoby Myers, Alec Pierce, Darius Slayton if you need a wide receiver. There's a lot of different ways you can go here. If you're just asking me my top 3 overall, I would say it's Ken Walker, Benjamin, and I'll say Jacoby Myers third.
How about you, Dave?
That's the top 3. Let's throw Walker out of there. I think Geno makes the cut. There are so many fantasy teams that are struggling at quarterback right now. And here's somebody who can right the ship. The schedule is great moving forward. He's been playing great now. It's basically been every game this year except the 49ers game. He's played really, really well. His receivers are playing really, really well. So I think he deserves top 3 consideration too. Even if you don't necessarily need Geno Smith, you can pick him up. You can make him your bye week quarterback, and then you can trade him and actually get something in trade, because somebody will give up something, not huge, but something off their bench to get a quarterback that they can fill in with moving forward.
And he's got Arizona this week, and they're 24th against quarterbacks. It's Geno Smith. He's 55% rostered. If these guys are not available, if we want to take a look at deeper leagues for the people out there going, none of these guys are available in my leagues, because it's a lot of guys who are right around 50, 60% rostered this week. It's Geno Smith and Taysom Hill. Jacoby Myers is somewhere near that range. So, Benjamin is obviously available in a lot more leagues. But I do have to ask, guys, because James Conner and Cliff Kingsbury said he thought Conner was going to be fine, right? So should we be cautious with how much we spend on Benjamin, or even how much of a priority we make Benjamin? And I don't even know the status of Darrell Williams, but just to rewind back to week 1 or 2, whenever Conner got hurt, we were prioritizing Williams over Benjamin because Williams got the more valuable role, the third down role, the inside the 10-yard line or whatever it was role. So he obviously left with an injury as well, but I don't know the severity of that one. I'm not sure if you guys do. But anyway, it's kind of a murky situation for Benjamin, no?
It is a murky situation, yes. I do think, though, that you are looking at, if you just watch their games, he's probably their most explosive running back, though, through the first 5 weeks, just based on how he's looked the part. Williams has had some moments. Conner's had some moments. But now you're playing on 2 injuries for 2 veteran guys. Williams doesn't necessarily have that track record of being banged up like Conner does. But at this point, this is now 2 injuries for Conner. And if Benjamin is going to be maybe the second guy, because he continues to play in tandem with Conner, but if he's the second guy with Williams, he might get even more work. So the running back position is a little tricky this week because, again, Walker is rostered in a lot of our leagues already. You mentioned Benjamin. After Benjamin, there are some deep league options. If the Colts guys are missing, Deion Jackson's available in about 95% of leagues. You have Pierre Strong and Joshua Kelly getting good opportunities. Kelly clearly more so than Strong at this point. But Kelly looks like he's pulled ahead of Sony Michel, so he's an injury to Austin Eckler away from being, a potential must-start player. If that continues, it's the first time really that we've seen it where Kelly's really separated from Michel. He's available in over 90% of leagues. So there are some guys that could be helpful to you. May not be must-start guys like a Ken Walker or maybe a Benjamin, but Deion Jackson I thought looked good. Stepping in for the Colts. Philip Lindsay also. He's going to get some work if there is no Taylor or Hines. So there are some running backs who could help you. But Benjamin, to me, if he starts for the Cardinals, he's at least a flex, if not better, given the bye weeks and what the matchup is for them this week taking on the Seahawks.
Oh, gosh, the Seahawks just so bad against running
backs. They've allowed 100 total yards to every running back they face this year.
It's amazing. How about if you don't need Benjamin for this week, would you rather have Benjamin or Mike Boone?
I'd probably...
kind of similar, to be honest.
Yeah, but I think I'd rather have the guy... So here's the thing. We don't know for sure that Conner and Darrell Williams are going to be out. And even if they're both out, Arizona's got Keontae Ingram. He could end up being, he might end up being like a change of pace running downs back. I know that sounds a little weird, but he would probably be the second guy behind Benjamin. I would imagine they trust Benjamin more. If we knew for sure those guys were out, of course I'd take Benjamin. But because we don't, I feel a little more comfortable with Boone, but I would probably spend about the same amount of fab on Boone as I would on Benjamin